Let's move on to Monday night action. Monday, December 2nd, 8:15 p.m. Our final game here on the board. Cleveland Browns 3-8, 1-4 on the road at the Denver Broncos, 7-5, 3-2 at home. We're Empower Field at Mile High, Denver, Colorado. It's 34 Fahrenheit cold, but it's clear and there's no wind at all in this one. Let's get over and take a look at the line history, and then hand this over to our guy Troy Torrence. On the spread, move over to the right book here. On the spread, this opened up with Denver -6. Within 10 minutes, this moved to a 5.5. And it's a 5.5 now, but since it moved to 5.5, it's gone slightly juiced towards the Browns. So we have a half-point move towards Denver. On the total, this opened up at 41.5. It's still at 41.5. The over at 41.5 was -108. It's now -117. So it's taken 9 cents of movement to the over. We have Omer says Broncos for me here. They might not cover, but he expects them to win. Let's get into the cash flow here for our Monday nighter. You have 41% of the tickets on Cleveland, just 14% of the cash. So the Broncos have 59 and 86. Then you have 83% of tickets and 92% cash on the over. Interesting. And wow, Coin saying Blake Snell just signed with the Dodgers. Rich get richer. Here we go. Passing offense for the Browns, 21st, 204.3 yards per game. Rushing offense, 29th, just 88.2 yards per game. Waiting for Nick Chubb to show out, even though we cashed his over 14.5 rush attempts very easily last week. Still not showing out. Red zone offense, 13th, 57.1% of the time they score touchdowns. Third down offense, the worst in the league. They only convert third downs 27% of the time. Their passing defense is 15th. They allow 214.4 yards per game. Their rushing defense 24th at 130.6. Their red zone defense is 22nd. 62.5% of the time they allow touchdowns, and their third down defense is 7th. They allow conversions 34.3% of the time. They come in off extra rest and prep after defeating their AFC North rival, the Steelers, 24-19 in snowy conditions in Cleveland. Jameis went 18-27 for 219 yards, no touchdowns in the pick. He also lost a fumble. Jerry Jeudy caught 6 for 85. Nick Chubb ran 20 times for 59 yards and 2 touchdowns. The offense stepped up when it mattered. They were just 1 of 10 on third down, but they were 4 of 4 perfect on fourth down, 3 of 4 in the red zone. The defense held together. Myles Garrett stepped up, led the pass rush with 3 sacks. The Browns combined for 4 sacks and 9 quarterback hits. They held the Steelers to 8 of 19 on third and fourth down. They're getting healthier. Now, it'd be really nice to get Jedrick Wills back this week. He's been dealing with this knee issue throughout the year. I missed a loss to the Saints, and Jermaine Ifedi is starting at left tackle and will likely start again if Wills doesn't come back. Talk about the Broncos. So they have cashed for me 2 weeks in a row. Passing offense, 22nd, 201.9 yards per game. I did not deserve it this past week against the Raiders. Rushing offense, 22nd, 111.6 yards per game. Red zone offense, 12th, 57.5% of the time they're scoring touchdowns. Third down offense, 21st, converting 37.3% of the time. Their pass defense is 9th. They allow 199.8 yards per game, while their rush defense is 6th. They allow 96.2 yards per game on the ground. Their red zone defense is the best in the league. They only allow touchdowns 39.4% of the time, while their third down defense is 14th, allowing conversions 36.3% of the time. Broncos coming off their second straight win, 29-19 at Las Vegas. The Raiders outgained the Broncos 369 to 325. It was not a nice performance by the Broncos, but they did what they needed to do to secure the victory, something that they didn't do in years past. Bo Nix was 25 and 42 for 273 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He broke the franchise rookie record of 14 TD passes set by Marlon Briscoe in 1968. Cortland Sutton led receivers with 8 catches for 97 yards, 2 touchdowns, extended his streak of 70-yard games to 5. That is the longest streak by a Broncos player since the late Demaryius Thomas, 8 straight in 2014. Took a rabbit hole down. I hadn't thought about Demaryius in some time, and heart goes out to the Thomas family, and it was a hell of a receiver. Devon Valet caught 6 passes for 80 yards. The ground game struggled. Javonte Williams ran 8 times for -2 yards. Ugly. Jaleel McLaughlin led running backs with 7 carries for 44 yards. The offense was just 6 of 15 on third down and 2 of 4 in the red zone. The defense was strong, held the Raiders to just 1 of 5 in the red zone. They lead the league in that category. Pass rush was excellent, 5 sacks, 10 quarterback hits. And it's really important because they did it all without Zach Allen. Zach Allen with the heel injury, he didn't play, got the extension contract-wise, and the pass rush was still very strong. Riley Moss left the game late in the first half, and he suffered an MCL injury. So at this point, we don't expect cornerback Riley Moss to be in the lineup. Take it away for us here, Troy. Our Monday nighter: Browns, Broncos.
This is another game. I feel like I'm so polarized in how I'm picking these games. I have so much action this week, and there's spots where I just really struggle to get to a side, and there's spots where I really love it, and I'm hammering it. This is a spot where I don't feel like I have a very good read on this Browns team all season. I feel like I have a good read on, especially comparing it, benchmarking against what I did with them last year. And the Broncos, they're probably starting to be overpriced in the market. I mean, we've seen it last week. They're lucky to cover against Las Vegas. Peyton, I love what he did. Our guy, Gary Payton, what he did with expediting Bo's development. We continue to see him progress week after week. His advanced metrics, his PFF grades, everything over the past 6 weeks is vastly different, vastly improved from weeks 1 through 6. And the Browns, they're Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, they compete at home, especially in divisional matchups. That's what Jameis Winston was able to do in the Browns team. They've won 2 games with Jameis at quarterback at home, and they've gotten embarrassed. Their only game on the road, they did have their bye week kind of splitting it up. It's just a really tough team. Jekyll and Hyde, like I said, to get a hold of. But this Browns team on the road this season, they have 1 win. It was the second week of the season, second game of the season against Jacksonville. They won in Jacksonville. Now, since then, they've lost 4 consecutive games, and 2 of them, they were favorites, and they still lost. And Winston is likely going to have a lot of trouble against this defense, who I kind of paint a similar profile as the Los Angeles Chargers. And then you know that I want to fade home dogs at 3.5. So there's only one way I'm looking. I'm looking towards the Broncos in this spot. I'm likely going to find some action in this game. I'm going to just wait to see where this market shapes up, because it's hanging around a key number right now. So I'm in no rush to move on this game, and you know I like to let this market develop, and then I'll hammer it come Sunday.
Do we expect the Browns defense to hold up? Because their pass defense is being okay. They struggle to move the ball. They struggle to get first downs. The Broncos did not look good last week, but they have the best red zone defense in the league. And do you have interest in the under, even though there's no wind at all and it's clear, but it's cold? Did you have interest in the under at all?
I have no interest in the under at this number. I mean, the history of this market in this type of price range is not favorable to the under. So I'm not looking towards the under, especially at the 42 right now. I'm just simply looking towards the Broncos.
Yeah, I get that. The extra rest and prep is not that big of a deal, because you think that you are, selling them high at this point. But I mean, the problem is you're also buying the Broncos high, but at least you're also selling the Browns high. Do you see that, selling the Browns high?
Selling the Browns high, I do. And I feel like I fall into that trap. I fall into it this year. I've seen the Browns come off a big win, and I jumped in, wanted to back them, and then I came right back down to earth. I can't trust this defense in its current state.
All right. Well, we will wait.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. We have to let this one develop. I do not have a very confident feeling.
What are you looking for? You're looking for this to move to 6.5?
I guess I'd be looking towards the over. I guess that's the only way I could look at this point, because that's where we're sitting. I don't know, Jim. This is a really tough game, and I didn't spend enough time with it. I got caught in the weeds in too many other games that I was extremely bullish on, when I knew that this open just put me in a bad situation right off the bat. But I know that I have a lot of time to figure it out, because I'm betting every primetime game I have all season. I'm going to be betting this one as well.
Well, we will be live here for Monday Night Football. I need to spend more time here with this market, but it's funny. It's funny. The Broncos are now starting to play in some higher scoring games. The Browns offense is starting to succeed as well. I wonder if that over is a really good look. The 83% of tickets, 92% of cash on that over, and it's moved 9 cents, which tells me this 41.5 not going to be here for long. Let me just see if it's already gone here. It's already gone.
It's
Sorry,
gone.
it's not gone everywhere, but it's 42 at what I'm looking at right now. And it's 42. It's 42 now. Even the 42 is juiced at sharp books to the over. Why wouldn't there be points scored in this one? No wind.
I think the big piece of it is when I look at the red zone defense of the Broncos, and I don't trust Jameis Winston in the red zone at all. That's where you lose. You lose on your overs is when they get into the red zone and they can't convert, or they throw an interception. There's a pick. They just wipe points right off the board. I could see famous Jameis throwing an interception, having trouble in the red zone. We've seen it 2 weeks against the Saints on the road. We've seen it against the Chargers at the house. It's a tough game. Tough spot.
But you feel like you can trust the Broncos offensively here. You're just questioning whether you can trust the Browns offensively. That the team total is pretty expensive here. The book I'm looking at 365. The over 23.5 team total is juiced to -120.
Yeah, that doesn't sound interesting to me. Because I want to fade the Browns off I want to fade both these teams off a win. So it makes you want to take the under. Unfortunately, I feel like this is just not a great spot to take the under. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one to figure out.
That is our Monday Nighter. We will be talking about it tomorrow in our Cappers Contest show. So please join us. That's a new time, 5 p.m. And then on Thursday, I will be live streaming all 3 games as I do every Thanksgiving Thursday. Your Canadian brother has your back.